thanks to the support as a channel member, Rob Pontin. Well, we're a very good team, but unfortunately, there's a very good Arsenal team that won the league by 20 points last season, and a very good Erling Haaland, who has decided to start scoring all the goals again for Manchester City. So despite spending over £500 million in the summer, we approached the January transfer window third in the league, 7 points off the top of the table, with Liverpool and Arsenal to play up next in the league. If we don't get 6 points today, we ain't winning the league this year, and that's problematic. Hello and welcome to Club 3, Part 4 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have those games against Liverpool and Arsenal in the league since you were last with me. As you can see, we have been close to perfect in all competitions. But close to perfect doesn't get the job done when you're living in Arsenal and Erling Haaland's universe. We lost against Villa, and that means that while Arsenal relentlessly went on a winning streak where they didn't lose against Villa, we've kind of fallen behind a little bit. We do have a game in hand on City. Winning that would put us above them on goal difference, and 2 games in hand on Arsenal. If we won both of them, we'd only be 1 point behind, and we play them as the second match of the episode. So 2 wins is huge. Anything else, we probably have to be looking ahead to next season. And talking of looking ahead, we are also looking ahead to the January transfer window because there are some transfers that we're pre-arranging. Matthias de Ligt, who has been our club captain, doesn't want to renew his contract. He's 32 years old, so we've decided to let him go to join Real Madrid. Centre-back is a position where we've got a lot of good players, a lot of cover. I mean, we've got 2 big tall boys out on loan at the moment in the shape of a 26-year-old Lenny Yoro, who's having a very good season at Atletico, so we could call him back in January. David Michaud is a 22-year-old Belgian international who's 6'6" and on loan at Barcelona. He's not really playing, but we could call him back and have him be our backup behind Memishi, Scalvini. Everton Antonio can play there. Maninho can play. We've got lots of good centre-backs, so I think we can let de Ligt go. We're also tempted to let what's his face go up front. What's his name? Gyokeres. I can't remember the guy's name. Real Madrid are interested in him. We signed him on a free transfer in the summer on a 12-month deal. He's only scored 3 goals for us in the league. If we can somehow trick them into giving us £24 million in January when he's out of contract at the end of the year and we're paying him £500,000 a week as an impact sub, again, it's a position we've got lots of strength in depth. I mean, Samu, we've barely used because he started the season with an injury. As he got back in the team, he got another injury. He's not actually started a league game for us yet, despite theoretically being my prototype striker. But we've got Ilunga, who we signed to play in midfield, who we've been using up front. We've got Van der Winden, who is one of the best young players in Europe. We've got some good strikers. So again, I think we can probably let Gyokeres go. And if he and de Ligt both leave, all of a sudden, we're looking at £100 million to spend in January and loads of spare wage budget, which means we could bring in another couple of players to help push us over the finish line. But before we even get to any of that, we've got to get past Liverpool and Arsenal. 6 points needed. And this is the team for the game against Liverpool. It's Costa in goal, a back row of Ketsi, Scalvini, de Ligt in probably his final game for the club. I think he'll be gone before we play Arsenal. Ayala at right back, Ugarte at the base midfield. He's another one we'll take offers for. We've got a couple of Saudi Arabian clubs interested in him. He's 30 years old. If we can get anywhere near that price for him, again, it's a position we've got a lot of strength in depth. So we're quite happy to move on the remaining old guard who are still here. So Ugarte, Larson and Ireland in midfield, Van der Winden on the left, Garnacho on the right and Ilunga up front. With all of this going on, Shea Lacey is actually our top scorer this season. So I'm talking about how we've not really used Samu as a striker. We also haven't really got that Erling Haaland style striker in the team. Ilunga is very much an attacking midfielder, false 9 kind of profile, who I'd quite like to get into the midfield. If we can move Ugarte on, we could potentially drop Larson back and then drop Ilunga in alongside Ireland. It is a very attacking midfield 3. Larsson's not really a defensive midfielder, although he is natural there. He can play there, but we could use them as a real elite level 3, and that allows Samu to get in up front. Van der Winden can stay out on the wing, and it starts to look like a Champions League winning team at that point, I think. But we're baby steps to get towards it. Ayala with the shot, and it's pushed wide by the Liverpool keeper. Liverpool, incidentally, not a particularly strong team. I think it's definitely going to be a 3-horse race for the title between us, Arsenal, and Manchester City. Liverpool, shadow of their former selves. They're down in 12th place this season, so very much undergoing a rebuild of their own. And you can see that a lot of their team are players who are going to be pretty old now because they're players that are still there in real life. It's similar to what I walked into here at Manchester United. We all know the Football Manager AI can be a little bit slow to move on the aging stars and replace him with the wonderkids, and it's definitely a job that needs doing at Liverpool. That being said, they're squaring up against us today and seem very competitive, and playing Alexander-Arnold in midfield he's troublesome for any team to deal with, as you saw from that pass he played in over the top of our defenders there. It's Scalvini now looking for a pass. Gives it to Ugarte, and now Ligt across to Ayala, who's got Garnacho ahead of him. Garnacho just gives it back to Ugarte, and it goes all the way back to Ligt. We're just having a little bit of a moment of possession while Liverpool presses, trying to drag them out of position. I mean, that's composure there from Garnacho, and he receives the ball back from Ugarte and goes past 2 men, and there's a ball over the top to Ireland. Ireland squares it for Ilunga. I think Ilunga's probably offside there. I think this is going to go to VAR, although, is it going to go to VAR? Has that just been given? It has just been given. Maybe I don't understand the offside rule, but Garnacho was brilliant in this move. Great work from Larsson, showing he could play a little bit deeper. And Ireland actually played the ball backwards, and it took a deflection off the Liverpool defender, which is how it's ended up with Ilunga and kept him in an onside position. If we have a look at there, yes, Ilunga's offside, but Ireland actually plays the ball back. Is that the rule? Do I understand the offside rule? Ireland's playing it backwards and it comes off the defender. I think that's exactly what's happened. I don't know. I can't keep up to date with the rules of football these days. I think that means it's onside. I think that's why it's onside. Either way, it's a goal for us just before half-time. We're 1-0 up. Obviously, we need to win this one. We then need to beat Arsenal, and then we're definitely in the conversation for a first Premier League title in nearly 30 years, I think. Is 30 right? Or is it 20? That's good work from Ilunga. Starting to look like an actual striker with a couple of goals today. When did Manchester United last win the league? Like 2012, 2013? So it is getting on for 30 years in game since United have won a league. Is that right? Is my maths right? No, getting on for 20 years. We're not that far in the future. So almost 20 years since United won the league. I'd like to be the manager that delivers that title back to them again. And we're certainly doing a good job of making Liverpool look very, very ordinary today. Their XG is pathetic. They're not really creating anything. And we definitely are comfortably the better team in this game. Arsenal, though, very easily dealing with Cardiff. They've got an easier day than us today. Odegaard has got a hat-trick for them. And although we've got 2 games in hand on them, they're not going to fear us. I don't think. They were so dominant last year, and they know full well they can tie up another league title before January even properly gets underway, because we're probably their closest rivals. If they can beat us, they've just got to not fall apart, and they have another league title. Right, we've got Lacey on. Lacey is having a really, really good season as a homegrown boy. Certainly enjoying the Conference League. 8 goals in 8 appearances in the Conference League, plus 8 assists. 16 goal returns in 18 Conference League matches. Padding his numbers a little bit, but he's, as a homegrown boy, certainly useful to have around as a first guy off the bench in the attack in situations like this. I don't expect him to ever be a nailed-on starter for us. He's not quite at that level, but he's the kind of player I certainly want to be keeping around. And that's great work from Ireland. Ilunga's got in again, and is that one offside? Again, I mean, Ireland's so good, he's probably played the pass perfectly to keep him on. He hasn't. But Ireland just dominating the midfield again. And we get to have a look at this from the other angle. I mean, he's not even looking in the right direction. That's why he doesn't know he's offside. But Ilunga certainly demonstrating some finishing prowess today. So if he carries on like that, he carries on as the centre forward. Tis as simple as that. But Liverpool knocking the ball around nice and comfortably at the back. But I mean, we've let them do this all day long. We just don't let him go much further. Although they've got him behind here. Núñez is in and scores. Is he offside? I mean, he usually is. Let's face it, Darwin Núñez usually offside. Hopefully the referee understands that situation. He does. Excellent stuff. Still 2-0 to Manchester United. Little bit of a warning sign. But yeah, as usual, miles off. Remains 2-0. City now winning there, or City now drawing, which is enough to put them back above us. They're playing Coventry, and Erling Haaland has missed a penalty in that game, so maybe Erling Haaland's done. Right, I'm not going to bring Gyokeres on. Gyokeres is out the door. Samu comes on. We've got to get some game time into him. And then we'll also bring, I've been told I'm saying his name wrong, Mainu comes on in midfield. I don't know. Is that hugely different to how I've been saying it? Manchester United fans have been getting very upset. So we will call him Mainu from now on. He's my Mainu, like, third option as a substitute, who, if he wasn't homegrown, I'd be looking to move on. I've also been told multiple times by the comment section, I have to make sure I've got at least one academy player in the team or in the match day squad every match. Luckily, we've got Garnacho, we've got Lacey, we've got Mainu. It would be hard for me to pick a squad that didn't have a homegrown boy in. I mean, it's not something I'm deliberately checking. I'm not going to force it. But there are a number of decent homegrown players here. So, I mean, that is a huge miss. How on earth has he missed that? My goodness me. He has headed that over from a foot out. I would have scored there. I wouldn't have got in the position probably, but if I had have got in the position, I would have absolutely scored. In the end, 2-0 flatters Liverpool there. We've absolutely dominated them. Hopefully we can carry that kind of form into this game against Arsenal, where they are in even better form than we are. We need to be absolutely on top of our game to play against them. Let's see, shall we? Right, we've had a £24 million offer from Real Madrid for Gyokeres. He wants 4.7 million to go. I mean, the maths still adds up fine. We signed him for free. We've used him a bit. If we keep him to the end of the season, we've got to pay another £14 million in wages. So we save £10 million in wages plus get a £24 million fee. I think we've actually made a profit on this deal. Someone will run the numbers in the comments. But I think, despite it looking insane when we first did it, I think we've made a significant profit on that boy. And all he basically did was cover Samu when he was injured. Brilliant stuff. Right, much has changed since the Liverpool game. De Ligt has left the club. Lenny Yoro has returned from his loan at Atletico. He's actually homegrown at club, which I didn't realise. So he was on the transfer list when I arrived. So I guess had fallen out with Roberto Martinez. And I guess I can understand why I only started 3 games last season. But he's been excellent in La Liga. He can come back and just slot straight into the squad ahead of or to replace De Ligt, who's now moved on, as a homegrown at club player, which will help for European registration as well, because we couldn't get De Ligt and Scalvini in our Conference League squad. Obviously, Yoro will be a lot easier to register as a homegrown at club player. Gyokeres has still got 1 foot out the door, so hopefully that deal will go through very soon as well. And with De Ligt leaving, Joe Ireland is now the new Manchester United club captain. He's been here 6 months, but what a 6 months he's had. Possibly the greatest signing in the history of Football Manager, even at the amount of money that he cost. But with De Ligt going, Mamishi comes into the team to partner Scalvini at the back. We've also just had Everton Antonio win the European Golden Boy. With both of our young right-backs injured, Ayala is going to continue deputising there. Is this going to be enough to get past Arsenal? I guess we're about to find out, aren't we? It's a very good Arsenal team and a slightly new look back four for us. So hopefully they don't make me immediately regret letting De Ligt go. But we are the home team and we do have those 2 games in hand. So a win here for us and we really properly insert ourselves into that title race. But I can't emphasise enough how dominant this Arsenal team have been over the last 18 months, 2 years or so. Won the league by over 20 points last year and are looking like they are putting together a dominant lead this season as well. So It's going to be a big ask, but the amount of money we've spent, I mean, I know I would still consider it a squad in transition. There's still stuff I want to do. But even with that being said, with the amount of money we've spent, we need to be properly competitive. And that guy, I don't know why Newcastle sold him. I don't know why Arsenal didn't buy him. I don't know why Real Madrid and Barcelona did. I don't understand how we've got the best midfielder in the game for less than £100 million. And he's just come in. He's only 22. We've stuck the captain's armband on him. We've told him to go and just do what he wants in midfield. He's scoring for fun. He's assisting for fun. He's a cheat code. And I don't understand how we got him, but I'm delighted that we did. Some sloppy defending there. Who was that? Ayala, I think, kind of tackled the ball into the path of the Arsenal player. But we're still 1-0 up, and that's the important thing. Ilunga plays it back to Larson. Larson to Ireland, who shoots again from the edge of the area. I mean, he's trying to do it all on his own. People were telling me to sign Joey Keating from Coventry, as much as I love him. And by the way, look at Coventry, up in 6th place again. They've continued to be a decent team, even in my absence, which is nice to see. We clearly put together a good team of good young players, but Keating doesn't get near this team because Ireland's playing in his spot. And I mean, that's why Keating's never going to get in the England team either, I guess, because Ireland's ahead of him there as well. But this is good work from Arsenal, a little bit sloppy from us defensively. Šeško getting in between our two centre-backs, which is a long way from ideal, but look at that from Larson. Great work from him, lays it up to Garnacho, who's taken a very heavy touch. I mentioned there's a few things I'd still like to do to the squad. That right wing is definitely one of those areas. I don't really trust Garnacho. I mean, he had a couple of good moments against Liverpool, as we saw, but he also has games where he's just completely absent. And we've seen a few examples in videos already of him just shooting when he should be passing, taking heavy touches. I definitely think that's an area we can upgrade. And Ilunga is really doing his best to demonstrate that he is our long-term centre forward, which is not what we've signed him to do. But how do we take him out of the team when he keeps scoring? Great work from him again. It's now 2-1 to Manchester United. There's been 3 shots on target in this game, and all 3 of them have resulted in goals. So the goalkeepers not exactly covering themselves in glory. And looking at the XG, we're very much mugging Arsenal at the moment, but I don't care because look what it does to the league table. We'd only be 4 points behind them with 2 games in hand and a better goal difference. That, I don't want to say would make us favourites to win the league, but it certainly means we're in a title race, and we just need to be a little bit careful that we don't derail things too much with too much January shenanigans. It took us a while at the start of the season to get our team cohesion going because we did so much business. We've already lost our club captain. If we move on, I mean, Gyokeres isn't particularly established. We can let him go, and I think that's fine. But I might have to postpone the Ugarte plan to the summer, because if we move him on as well as another long-serving, experienced player here at United, we really do start to cause team cohesion problems that, although it theoretically improves the quality of the team, leads to more stuff like that happening. I mean, we've gifted them a goal there. You can't do that against the best team in the country. Who's played that pass? Don't let it be Ireland. I think it's Van der Winden. It's Van der Winden has sold Scalvini short, and Arsenal get in through Nwaneri, and it's 2-2. And it still remains... every shot on target in the match has ended up in the back of the net so far for both teams. So I think this game might be settled by whichever goalkeeper decides to make a save first. There's been none of that so far. And Arsenal able to make some pretty beefy changes there at half time. So they're clearly not happy with how things have been going. Can we find another breakthrough? We've taken the lead twice in this game, and that's poor from us defensively. Memishi's just not really alert to what's going on around him, and now Ayala's been sent off as a result. And yeah, that's pretty much thrown this match away there in one piece of defensive chaos that might not have happened if we'd have still had Ligt at the club. I think in this situation, I'm going to take off Garnacho, I think. Garnacho's going to come off. We are so light on right backs. We don't have anyone who can go over there and play right back. Wowzers, we are out of right backs. Then I guess we bring Asnu on, who's going to have to play right back. And we're just going to go narrow. We're going to get all of our width from the wing backs. Ilunga can do, I mean, we'll get both. I guess he can play a little bit deeper off of him. And yeah, all of our width is going to have to come through those wing backs. I don't think we're winning this game now. So annoyed. We'd been doing so well and we just combust in a big game. Right, Asnu, completely out of position at right back. But I mean, he's done all right there, hasn't he? Although he's then given the ball away. Ugarte over the top to Ilunga, and he takes a very heavy, touch. You can see I'm choking up at how heavy that touch was. And I mean, I'll offer some encouragement, but I think through a moment of madness, we've thrown this one away. Larson now in midfield. Can we somehow find 3 points against the best team in the country and we're down to 10 men? I mean, with Ireland in the team, anything is possible. That was absolutely spectacular. He has no right to even get a shot away from that position, but they've given him space to turn. Have they not been paying attention to what this man spent the first half of the season doing in a Manchester United shirt? Just absolutely leaves 3 Arsenal defenders for dead and then rifles it into the top corner. It's wonderful play from Joe Ireland. It's his second goal of the match. This is his first game as club captain of Manchester United. And we still haven't had a save in the game. It's 3 shots on target to 2. Oh my, right. Ireland's tiring. So he's going to have to come off. Mainu can come on for him. And we'll swap those 2 around. Van der Winden is going to come off for Samu, which gives us a different kind of striker up there alongside Ilunga. I mean, there's probably an argument we could have brought on a midfielder there. But we are now, I mean, if needs be, we drop Ilunga back. Ilunga is, we brought him to play central midfield anyway, so he can drop back if needs be. But I think we've got to try and force Samu to do something. I want him to work. He is my kind of striker. He's just had no luck at all with fitness. And if he can get a run in the team, I think he's going to be our Erling Haaland style 30 goal a season striker. Arsenal have got another equaliser. Their 3rd time today they've equalised. And I think that is still every shot on target in the match has ended up in the back of the net. It's absolutely bonkers from both teams defensively. Do we keep this out if Ligt's in there? Probably not. Oh no, Arsenal have now had a shot on target that they didn't score. Well, there you go. Right, we've got a couple more changes we could make. Ugarte and Larsen are both tired now. So I think we drop Ilunga back there. And for the first... Oh, we do still have Gyokeres on the bench. I thought Gyokeres had disappeared. No, Gyokeres comes on up front. And then Ugarte can come off, and we'll bring on Yoro to re-debut, and Scalvini can move forward, and we'll do that. Gyokeres is on. This is likely to be his final appearance in the Manchester United shirt. It's been a very strange 6-month spell, but he could score a goal that could potentially win us the league here before he goes off to join Real Madrid. Scalvini to Mainu, and now it's all the way back to Memishi and Scalvini again. Ilunga playing a little bit deeper. He doesn't get many opportunities to play there. Maybe he's not a midfielder. Oh, Aketsi's got him out of trouble there. Gyokeres trying to release Samu, and he's not able to, and it's Arsenal on the attack again, but Memishi is there to cover. Mainu to Yoro to Aketsi, and now Ilunga, who's drifted into that wide area. Now he's dropped back a little bit deeper. This is great work from Ilunga. Cross comes in. Gyokeres is there! It's his 10th goal for Manchester United. It's probably his last one. It could be the one that wins us the league, and he won't even get a medal because he's not even played enough matches for us. What a ridiculous 6-month spell at Manchester United from Victor Gyokeres. I mean, that's what you get. I mean, it's taken a huge deflection off of that Arsenal number 3, but we don't care. I mean, do we throw everybody back? Get him back there. Get him back there. There you go. We'll do that. We don't normally do stuff like this, but I think in the circumstances, just defend the lead. Get all the defenders back. and hold on, because this has been a bonkers game. What a heroic performance from 10 men against the best team in the country. And I think there's a new best team in the country. And for the first time in nearly 20 years, it's Manchester United. We are well in this title race. Look at the league table. If I could show you the league table. Press the button. Look at the league table. We are 4 points behind Arsenal, 2 games in hand, a much better goal difference, and we've got £100 million to spend in January. And once Gyokeres goes, £1 million spare on our wage budget each week. If we add the right man, we're winning the... I mean, I reckon we probably can't, can we? We probably can't. But if we can add the right man, we are going to win the league in our first season at Manchester United. Can't win the Champions League this year because we're only in the Conference League. But we could, and at this point, you could argue, probably should be winning the Premier League this year. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.